everything scary. I'm GMHaunts, and today, welcome to a sort of differently formatted and looking video here on the channel, and also welcome to a brand new series. So ladies and gentlemen, for 600 subscribers, instead of just doing one video, or one surprise, or one reveal, I have decided to start up a brand new series. Now you may be wondering, what is this brand new series? Well, if you look at the thumbnail, the title, or the logo that you can see right underneath me, you can tell that my brand new series is called Channel 1031. Now you may be wondering, what is this brand new series exactly? Well, actually, every week, every Friday, I will be discussing and talking to a brand new haunter about all types of scary things. Every single Friday, only on the GMHaunts YouTube channel. I'm going to have so many guests. I already have some really cool guests planned in the future. And for today, I'm going to be asking some questions and talking to a Nightmare Before Christmas superfan. He has over 5,000 subscribers on YouTube, and he creates a haunt every single year. He's a good friend of mine, Justin, better known as Genohaunter. I got some awesome questions for him. I can't wait to get to talk to him, and I have some really, really cool guests for future weeks. So every single Friday, I'm going to be releasing a brand new episode of Channel 1031. I got some cool guests, and if you have any guests that you want me to talk to, leave them in the comments below, and you might end up seeing them on an upcoming episode. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I'm so excited to start up Channel 1031, so let's get to the questions for Genohaunter. So like I said in the beginning, Genohaunter is a Nightmare Before Christmas super fan. Obviously, if you've seen his channel before, you're going to know this. He does a lot of Nightmare Before Christmas videos, drawings, and he even does Nightmare Before Christmas themed haunts. So my first question for you is, why did you end up choosing to do a Nightmare Before Christmas themed haunt for the first time in 2020, Jack's Holiday Nightmare, and kind of what made you want to do that haunt and make it come to life?
Well, Griffin, it really dates back to my early days of being a kid, and I remember in pre-K I was die-hard Nightmare Before Christmas fan. I had the DVD, and on it was this little documentary showing a ride that they do during the holidays at Disneyland over in Anaheim, California, where they take the classic Haunted Mansion ride, and around Halloween and Christmas time they theme it after Nightmare Before Christmas, and which Jack comes to the mansion. It's all decorated out like, you know, it is in the film, and that sparked my imagination so much. And for years I've been begging my parents to go to Disneyland to see this Haunted Mansion holiday ride, and in November of 2019 that wish came true, in which I was able to visit it with family, and that changed my life. It was immaculate. It was like, oh, like, this is so awesome. I really, and by the time the vacation was done, I'm like, I really want to do something with this, but I don't know what, you know. And I was on the plane on the way home. I'm like having my sketchbook in front of me that I got, like a little Jack Skellington notebook I got from the Disney store, and I'm like, wait a minute, two and two together, because it was right after Halloween ended that I went to Disneyland. I'm like, I could use the two together of a yard display and my Haunted Mansion holiday, my love for that attraction, mishmashed the two together, and that's how Jack's Holiday Nightmare was born. I started working immediately on it right as I got home. I started making props, thinking of a little storyline. There was going to be something similar to the Wacky's Wonders videos, where it would tell a story per each you know, kind of scene of the haunts, but I didn't have enough time to do that. But it was a lot of fun. It was huge passion project of mine, and this year it's like, you know, I'm pouring out absolute heart out into it.
So yeah. The next question kind of ties into what you said, but I guess it's a sort of like an interesting question, is who is your favorite character from Nightmare Before Christmas and why? So that kind of ties into what you were just saying.
Yeah, always, and will always be Jack. You know, I really honestly I see myself in Jack a lot. You know, from his quirkiness, his creativity, um, his curiosity,
Mm-hmm.
like trying new things out, just loving a lot of things. I really, he's been like a major comfort character of mine growing up, and um, I just love Jack a lot. I think he's very likable, he's relatable, and he has a very humane character and backstory to him. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like that I can really put my stuff into his shoes and be like, wow, I really relate to this character on many layers.
Yeah, so I think that's kind of like a lot of reasons why Nightmare Before Christmas appeals to a lot of people, and why a lot of people are such big fans of it, like yourself. Like, it's a movie that a lot of people can relate to in the characters, and they love the way the characters interact with each other.
Right.
Yeah, and I think that's sort of the reason why it's such a big idea about Halloween, and why it's like a Halloween classic movie now. So yeah, I definitely agree with that. The next question goes back to Jack's Holiday Nightmare and what Skellington Seasonal Screams will end up being. And the question is, did you ever think that you would continue the Nightmare Before Christmas haunts after you did Jack's Holiday Nightmare?
Absolutely. It was definitely going to be something like Jack's Holiday Nightmare, but added on. And I'll tell you this: I've had the idea of a haunt in which Jack takes over all the holidays since April of 2020. So it's been an old idea I've had in mind. I'm like, I really want to do this within the next few years, and it's been like a back in the back of my mind, it was like a follow up, sort of a sequel to Jack's Holiday
Mm-hmm.
Nightmare, where after the events of that, where he brings Christmas to the haunted mansion, he's like, I wonder if I can bring all the other holidays
Mm-hmm.
to the happy haunts of the haunted mansion, and that's what this year's all about. And because they have all these unique characters that I created: Ezra Hoppity,
Mm-hmm.
the bunny, Cupid, the one for Valentine's, and then just the new one, Turkey Tunes,
Mm-hmm.
for Thanksgiving. And they're all gonna be intertwined with each other. And I'm creating like a really elaborate story for it, in which you can like really immerse yourself into the experience of seasonal screams through listening to those videos will probably be coming out sometime early fall, late summer. I have yet to think of a date for it, but it's all in the air.
Yeah, so the next question, you kind of touched on it in a couple minutes ago when you were talking about the Notebook, and kind of thinking about what you would do with your love of Nightmare Before Christmas. And the question is, what is your design process for your walkthroughs? So from the time you I have an idea for a new scare, or for a new room, or for some sort of new look, what is the design process from the idea to the day the haunt is complete and people are walking through it? Like, what is that what goes through your head? What do you actually do to make the idea come to life?
Well, first things first. I go through my backyard and envision things are set up all around me, or I even watch like videos on my phone as I'm like going through, or listen to like Nightmare Before Christmas
Mm-hmm.
music to kind of get my creativity um, you know going on. And I'll think of a lot of things in the moment and write them down as I walk through, or I just keep them in my head, and then like later that night I'll sketch out my ideas, label things, and sometimes even like digitally transfer it. So like
Mm-hmm.
I'll sketch it out on a notebook, and then I would go on my iPad, in which I do my digital art, and do like a more cleansed outline layout of what I have planned.
Mm-hmm.
So that's always how I've been going about the things. And with the even some of the props I make, I sketch them out first. Sometimes I digitally transfer them, but I look at the sketch, and I sketch out on say foam board, in which I make the cutout of the characters that I'm building, and I just look back and forth, and like, all right, cool, and just
Yeah.
just copy it straight from paper onto the foam board.
Yeah, that's interesting. Like, that's an interesting idea of how, I like that you said you actually listen to the music, because it helps you create the ideas to match with Night Before Christmas. And I think
Yeah.
that's like a really interesting thing about your design process in particular. The next question is, again, tying a lot of the questions are about your haunt, because I just think it's so interesting and so well put together. So
Yeah,
the next one
no
is,
problem.
how long did it take to build Jack's Holiday Nightmare, and do you think it'll be equally as time consuming or more to build Seasonal Screams?
So Jack's Holiday Nightmare took 11 months to make, from the design from like, planning it out to actually building things, in November through um, literally night of Halloween. It was, I took a lot of, I will admit, I took a lot of gaps in between just because I would like overwork myself with, making certain props. And that's kind of what's happening with Seasonal Screams. It's been taken around the same time frame, probably a few months longer too. It's like been a little over a year since I've had the idea of characters I would use, and designs, and just a lot of things in Jack's Holiday Nightmare that were scrapped are being used again for Seasonal Screams. So I'm really excited to do that. And to answer your question, yeah, it's a lot more time consuming, and my gosh, it's very difficult. But I'm determined. I mean, it's gonna be huge haunt. Like I'm not even like exaggerating. It's gonna be really big, from the stories to the actual experience of walking through it and all the cool little special effects I have planned. I'm so excited for everyone to see it. It's gonna be a major step up.
Yeah, and it's interesting that you're talking about that the haunt's getting bigger, because now the people watching this right now don't know this, because this video you're watching out there, the person watching, this one is going to be the first episode uploaded. But like I told you before, I filmed an episode with somebody else who also does haunts, and I won't say it. I have to keep the surprise for the viewers. But he was talking about how he was also planning on every year the haunt's getting bigger, and how he has plans for it to become something that is just his entire life around this thing. And it's interesting to see that another person who is doing a haunted house is saying that same thing, and how you want to make it an even bigger idea and an experience for the people who watch it and go through it. So it's interesting to see how haunters all around are really thriving to make their haunts a bigger thing, and make it more exciting and more exciting, and more designs and more scares, and it's just making it a bigger and bigger thing. So that's really exciting. The next question is, are there any more plans for continuing the storyline of your Nightmare Before Christmas haunts in the future? And how many plans do you actually have to keep this going?
Well, I only have a few years left until I have to hit the road to college, and so like by 2023, that's gonna be like the deadline of like the last haunt I do, at least for a while. And I kind of hate to say it, this will probably be the last year I do a Nightmare Before Christmas haunt, because I want to do a lot of other ideas. I have too many ideas to count for stuff I can do. Some of them are really bizarre, and nobody's ever touched on them before, and I want to be the first to do that. So I definitely want to take advantage of that time that I have to make those haunts become a reality. But I will say this, it will kind of continue in like the same sort of lane as like the based off of a certain property, particularly owned by Disney. But yeah, that's just the little tip of the iceberg there.
So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. You just received a little sneak peek at what Genohaunter's plans are for his upcoming haunts. So this next question is not haunt related, but rather something that recently happened to you. That was a big thing. A lot of people were talking about it. You posted a video of it, and it was a Spirit Halloween mystery box that you just recently received. A couple different people received one. I did not. But a couple different people received this. It was a big deal in the community. A lot of excitement going around. So I guess the question is, what was it like receiving one in the mail? What was the whole experience of getting one, filming the video, getting all the messages from all of the people's reactions? Like, what was that all like?
So I knew that a package was coming to me, sent by a good friend of mine that works for Spirits, and I knew about it for weeks, and so did Aiden, another person who also received the package, and him and I were just like discussing like a lot, like what this could be. I mean, they confirmed it's not like a prop or anything, like any new products, but I remember coming home from the mall one day with my mom and just pulling around, and that same day I got a notification saying that the delivery was being sent out, and I didn't think it was going to come that very day, but then I come home and I see this box and it says my name on it. I'm like, oh no. Mom, get the camera, I have to film this right quick. And I opened it. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited, I'm so nervous, and I was shaking a little bit because I was very confused. I was very curious of like what this could be. And so I opened the brown packaging. I see this box with Jack the Reaper and like the Spirit logo. First thoughts, I thought it was a shoebox. I thought it was like, did they send me like Jack the Reaper shoes or something? I mean, I didn't obviously think too much of that, but like, yeah, it just kind of resembled that. And I opened it, and I see all of this cool little goodies and like gift bags and stuff. I'm like, wow, this is really awesome. And the thing that got me really excited were those full moon treats with the new animatronic Mr. Howell on it. Probably my favorite of the two that were shown, him and Henry Hustle. And there was also the pins. You know, we had Uncle Charlie's candy bucket, Jack the Reaper, and then certain glowing yellow mallets that we can only assume is that, you know, that extravagant clown right behind you.
Yeah, right over there.
Crappy little clown, yeah. And I'm like, oh my gosh, the way people are gonna freak out when I post this. And that was an understatement. I got a lot of messages. I had like, you know, I couldn't even like answer them all like one sitting. It was just, it was overwhelming. And, you know, I just took a break from the phone that night. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna sit back and relax and let the messages and comments on my video pour in. So it was a fun experience. So I'm glad that other people got to experience it as well. It's really awesome that, you know, Spear Halloween's pushing towards more reaching out to your fans and supporters, and, you know, getting their inputs and, you know, sending them like little treats like this. It makes it more exciting for all of us.
Yeah, and like I agree. Like I think this is such a good marketing thing from them, and it's like it's a cool move to see them doing something with their creators and the people who get them views and push their videos out and react to their things right away. So I think it's really cool to see that they're doing that, and they're sending little gifts to the people who are, again, giving them views and just covering the content that they put out month in and month out. And then of course it's like, it's interesting that it happened now when it's like the prime time, what I call it, of Halloween season, when it's like right now it's like the brink of prime time. It's like we're almost there. I think right as we hit July is the time when you really start to see all that stuff starts to come out, whether it's official or not. All the stuff will end up getting out around July, and it's cool to see that they're doing that. And then of course the Graveyard Shift countdown, which is a whole other thing.
That was very exciting. I know, like, my reaction to that was my jaw drops. Like, it was just like, are you serious? Is this like a thing I'm seeing? It was awesome. You know, I hope they do more stuff like this in the future.
Yeah, and I think it's a great way of creating excitement and creating hype, and it's a good time to do it because the countdown is set to end on July 15th, which ironically is the day, or maybe not ironically, purposely, is the day that the themes got leaked out last year. So it seems to be they're going to be revealing the themes themselves instead of putting it in the hands of an employee who takes a picture. They're going to do an official reveal probably, or some sort of teaser to what they actually are. And I think it's a cool move from them to see hints and teasers getting put out in like forms like this, and big reveals, and creating excitement, and kind of getting a lot of hype from creators and the people who really support them. This is something that I didn't send you on the question list, but you're going to be at Flagship on opening day.
Yeah, I am.
What are your thoughts? Are you excited? People you're excited to see there. What are your thoughts ahead of Flagship opening day?
It's you know, one of the top things in my mind, especially now because it's June. It's, you know, dwindling down to July. This countdown that ends on the 15th, it makes me feel like that something big's going to happen that day, and that might, you know, kind of lead into a possible early opening of the Flagship store or just Spirits in general. I don't know. I hope. I'm so excited. Every year I get all giddy. It's like Christmas morning, like the sequel to that, and a lot of people I'm so happy to be finally meeting. I know there's some new haunters that will be going there as well that I'm excited to meet and see in person. And just the overall experience, it's going to be a thriller, you know. It's going to, no pun intended of the Halloween song, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to be there opening day. There's a lot of people who are going to be there opening day. Again, the person I was talking to this morning is going to be there as well.
That's awesome.
And there's so many people that I've been talking to that are that are excited to go. It's becoming, I think, every year Flagship becomes more and more an event. Opening day becomes a thing. You're going to be there. Are you going to be there? Are you going to be there? And every year it becomes a bigger thing. Like, for example, I even know just in my own, I guess, world, I've never been to Flagship before, but I'm going to be there opening day this year. So I'm going to be there, and if a lot of people are doing that too, every year Flagship is becoming a tradition and something people do. And I'm assuming one of Spirit's biggest marketing things, because so many people do videos on it, so many views go to those videos of opening day walkthroughs, and it creates hype, and there's so many things going on around that time. And I think, again, every year it's becoming more of like a thing in the community where everyone knows this is the day Flagship is opening. Are you going to be there? Who else is going to be there? And when are the videos going to be out? Because everyone does a video on it, obviously.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be awesome.
It's always like, it's like a little competition. If you can post the video first, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, first time going to Flagship, it's magical. It's like stepping into Disney for the first time, you know. I remember I've been going to Flagship since 2016. I remember it was just, you know, a couple people, me, William Powers, another very popular haunter. He's known for going to the Flagship store opening day every year. And, you know, it's just kind of always been him and I for like the first few, him much longer than I, but, you know, like, I feel like it started to pick up heavily in 2018, and more haunters began going.
So the bloody bonus question for Genohaunter is, would you rather be a werewolf or a vampire, and why?
I'd rather be a vampire. I don't know. I love their clothing. You know, I could stay indoors all day, and you know, it's cool. I mean, it's cool, like, you know, cosmetic design, I guess. I don't know. I gravitate towards vampires a lot more than I do werewolves. But I mean, werewolves are still awesome. I mean, they're like monster dogs, and I love dogs. So
there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Genohaunter would love to be a vampire if you have the opportunity to. So, ladies and gentlemen, all of you watching out there, that is going to wrap up this Channel 1031 episode with the guest, my good friend Justin Genohaunter. Obviously, his link will be at the top of the description, so you can go check him out if you haven't already. I had a lot of fun talking to him. I hope you enjoyed the video, and there is going to be a lot more Channel 1031 episodes, a lot more guests, a lot more episodes coming your way every Friday for as long as I have guests that want to be on the show. I can't wait to show to you all the other guests that I have in store. And I guess remember, as always, for everything scary, I'm GMHaunts. I'll see you guys later for more Channel 1031 episodes. Goodbye.